evening and welcome to Newshour. My name is Hawa. Coming up in tonight's edition, a medical team from Zhangjiang Hospital in China is in Sierra Leone to assess the China-Sierra Leone Friendship Hospital in Jue. Parliament approves 13 presidential nominees amidst walkout by the main opposition APC party. Over 20 houses unroofed and damaged by heavy winds in Petifu, Mangbogbo village in the Yoni Chiefdom, Tonkolili district. And Minister of Health opens a biosafety level 3 laboratory and a ward at the Laka Government Hospital to treat multi-drug resistant TB. All these stories and more are lined up in this edition of Newshour with me, Hawa Bai. If you've just joined us, you're welcome. A medical team from Zhangjiang Hospital in China has paid a courtesy call on the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jalloh, to update him on plans and activities to be undertaken whilst in the country, including the establishment of the joint management of the China-Sierra Leone Friendship Hospital in Jue. Mara Suma reports.
The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jalloh, informed the team about the health sector being the second priority of the new government after education. He informed the team about the free quality education. The Vice President informed the medical team about the excellent relationship between China and Sierra Leone. He thanked the team for the Sierra Leone-China Friendship Hospital in Jue and the service given to the public. He said that a good, successful and workable model should be replicated in other parts of the country, but the Ministry of Health will decide on how to do it. The president of Zhangjiang Hospital, Dr. Guang Wanli, told the Vice President that the team will work with the medical team in the Jue Hospital. The medical superintendent of the Jue Hospital, Dr. Kanu, explained that the team will look at ways to improve the level of care and management of the China-Sierra Leone Hospital.
Parliament has approved 13 presidential nominees amidst protest walkout by the APC members of Parliament who challenged the approval of the proposed NEC Commissioner of the Southern Region, Edmund Sylvester Alpha. This was the second sitting that the opposition APC has rejected the proposed NEC Southern Region Commissioner. Ibrahim Samura was there.
We are kindly asking all APC members of Parliament to please leave this room.
It was an over drama in Parliament as the main opposition APC walked out in protest against Edmund Sylvester Alpha, proposed NEC Commissioner for the Southern Region. As the APC parliamentarians were calling for the resignation of the NEC boss, ruling SLPP lawmakers were with a contrary view. This is the This is the second time honorable members of the opposition APC are rejecting the proposed NEC Commissioner for the Southern Region, Edmund Sylvester Alpha. The action by the opposition did not stop the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Sengepo Thomas, who acted as Speaker, and other parliamentarians to approve 13 presidential nominees, including the proposed NEC Commissioner for the Southern Region. APC Honorable Lahimara said, as a party, they endorsed the approval of the 12 presidential nominees, with the exception for Edmund Alpha, the proposed NEC Southern Region Commissioner. He said their party has several issues with NEC, citing the just concluded by-election in Thonko Limba Chiefdom, Cambia District.
We are not against the nominees as person. We want to congratulate, apart from the Commissioner for the South, all other nominees, the judges, mayors, board members, Honorable Fatoma, on behalf of the party and us, want to congratulate you in advance. We have our party standing against NEC and the chairman from NEC, that is Ifa Ali Conte. Relating to the recently concluded by-election at Tonko, we demanded for his resignation. And for the entire NEC, Mr. Speaker, to be rehauled. Mr. Speaker, to us, NEC as an institution who lacks the capacity and integrity to handle and credibility to handle election matters.
Akande Yomkela is the leader of the National Grand Coalition. He said his party fully supported the approval of the other nominees, but questioned the endorsement of the next Southern Region Commissioner, saying NGC has issue with NEC and Umfa Ali Conte on the Thonko Limba by-election.
On behalf of my party, based on our consultations, we want to register our concerns about the National Electoral Commission. We have made that clear in letters we have published last 2 weeks. We have made that clear. We believe the process was flawed. We believe it risks. If those practices continue, it will put our democracy in danger. So on behalf of my party, I want to make that statement here in Parliament on behalf of our party, and will continue to pursue that. Having said that, we're not disrupting the proceedings.
Leader of Government Business, Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, thanked the leadership of the National Grand Coalition, Coalition for Change, Paramount Chiefs, and independent parliamentarians for participating in the debate. He said the nominees are qualified and fit for their various appointments.
To dialogue with the opposition, and for whatever happens in this house, we will ensure that we dialogue. I want to inform the people of this country that in the last 24 hours, my leadership have had several meetings with especially the APC leadership in this parliament. We have agreed on almost everything that we are going to do. Unfortunately, our colleagues are here with us, but they are being directed from outside. And I will at this time again appeal to people outside of Parliament to leave Parliament to work.
7 out of the presidential nominees are High Court judges, 2 members of Board of Trustees, Sierra Leone Roads Authority, Electoral Commissioner, Southern Region, the Managing Director, Goma Valley Water Company, 2 board members, National Public Procurement Authority, and board member, Environment Protection Agency. Parliament is adjourned to Thursday, 27th March. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
Over Over 20 houses have been unroofed and damaged by heavy winds and downpour at Petifu Mangobo village in the unit chiefdom Tonkolili district. The incident left scores of residents in the village without shelter, food and clothing, and are calling on government to help rebuild their damaged houses. Our reporter in Maboka, Abdul Karim Kanu, sent us this report.
The incident, which occurred last Thursday afternoon, unroofed several houses, including the thatch-covered roof of the only primary school in the village. Properties worth millions of loans, including food items, were destroyed by the wind and heavy downpour that struck Petifu Mangobo community. Scores of residents, including children, have been rendered homeless and without food and clothing. Village headman of Petifu Mangobo, Santigi Kamara, appealed on behalf of the affected people for government intervention to help rebuild their houses and provide them with relief items. District Security Coordinator, Office of National Security, and Coordinator of the District Disaster Management Committee of Tonkolili over the weekend led a team of Disaster Management Committee members to assess the level of destruction caused by the wind and downpour. The ONS officer, Alfred Kamara, called on charitable organizations to support the Petifu Mangobo community to rebuild their damaged houses. The recent wind disaster at Petifu Mangobo village is among other recorded incidents, particularly fire, that have affected other communities in Tonkolili district.
As part of celebration to commemorate World Tuberculosis Day, the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Alpha Tijanburi, has opened a Biosafety Level 3 laboratory and a ward to treat multi-drug resistant TB at the Laka Government Hospital. The Biosafety Level 3 laboratory can perform microscopy, solid and liquid culture and drug sensitivity testing to inform clinical diagnosis and monitoring. Joseph Stanley reports.
We are ensuring that we serve people if they are affected by tuberculosis. On behalf of His Excellency, I now declare this laboratory open.
The Biosafety Level 3 laboratory can perform microscopy, solid and liquid culture, and drug sensitivity testing to inform clinical diagnosis and monitoring. The Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Alpha Tijanwuri, said TB is real and every year it claims the life of more than 3,000 people in Sierra Leone, adding that the disease is preventable and curable. He added that as a result of the progress made in the TB national response, the country has chance to end TB before the stipulated date. He maintained that the ministry and stakeholders should educate the populace about the disease, discourage stigmatization, and promote access to services. In order to end TB by 2020, he stressed the need for more direct treatment centers, especially at chiefdom levels, with 2 community health centers to handle TB cases per chiefdom. Professor Owiri expressed the ministry's commitment to scaling up access to integrated prevention and care using system-building approach to end TB. He disclosed that the opening of the ward to treat multi-drug resistant TB, among others, is to build the confidence of patients that they can still be cured.
We're going to open that for people to know, even when you have resistant tuberculosis, we can still cure it as well. We want that confidence. We also want you to know that we are going to launch the level 3 laboratory. As we're dealing with molecular level now, not just basic microscopy work, not just basic skin test work, but this time we are going to the top end of science. That laboratory will not be useful to us if the outreach is weak. So the outreach have to be the main frame.
The WHO officer in charge, Alex Chimbaru, said that the 2018 WHO Global Tuberculosis Report indicates that the disease burden caused by TB is falling globally, but not fast enough to reach the first milestone to end TB by 2020. He noted that civil society organization and community system need to be strengthened to provide diagnosis support and care where patients live and work. The program manager, National Leprosy and TB Control, Dr. Linda Foray, referred to the opening of the biosafety laboratory as a boost to the TB national response.
We have a BSLP laboratory which is state-of-the-art, and one in a type in West Africa. As you can see, it has a fully powered solar system that can work for 7 hours after the light is on. Because not only is the lab full with equipment which has a holistic view of how we diagnose and monitor patients, we are also gradually building up the capacity of the lab staff in a phase-like manner.
She added that the installation of 12 digital X-ray in the district is to improve on the number of cases of people diagnosed with TB. A multi-drug resistant survivor, Augustine Kotu, and 12-year-old Celia Kagbo thank government and partners for services provided, but appeal for more essential support, especially the provision of adequate food. Certificates of recognition and awards was given to partners and individuals for their outstanding performance in the national TB response.
The Ministry of Lands, Housing and the Environment has engaged the media on their work plan, achievements and happenings about the ministry. The ministry has collected more than 2 billion leones. Sheila Reffel attended the press conference.
Of Lands, Housing and the Environment has made a remarkable success in revenue generation as a result of the stringent control in state land governance by the current minister during the past 1 year. Between April 2018 and February 2019, the sum of 2,941,090,400 leones was collected. Minister of Lands, Housing and Environment Dennis Sandy explained in his presentation about some of their achievements so far. He said that the ministry has succeeded for the first time since the establishment of Rabe College in presenting to them their site land plan, as well as for Parliament and State House, and that they have been able to reclaim 4,800 acres government land in the western area. He also explained how one should apply for one to have government lands across the country.
In your letter of application to the minister, say you're a Australian, more than 18 years, you want to construct your house, or probably you want to engage in a business entity, and then you attach, 2 passport size photographs, and then the first page of your passport or any other means of identification.
The ministry at present has about 60 to 70 people for freehold of application by the public, and the encroachment of state lands in the country has been on the rampage. SLBC, Sheila Reffel.
Residents of Yekoi town in Fiama Chiefdom, Kono district, have explained to SLBC that the health post is not spacious to accommodate the growing population, especially pregnant women. Lack of water facility, school structures and roads are key issues affecting their community. According to reports, over 100 people from 10 surrounding villages go to Yekoi town to access the health facility. Dauda Kamara visited the community and compiled this report.
Of the growing population in Dumbuya section, Fiama Chiefdom, Kono district, the people of Yekoi town have called on the district council and government to address their pressing needs. The section chief of Dumbuya section, Eyaseba, said the community needs urgent attention to salvage their deplorable status. He spoke about the water facility in the community, people fetching water from unprotected stream, the health center and poor road network. He called on the district council and other humanitarian organizations to assist the people of Yekoi town. The nurse in charge of Yekoi town health center, Sialebi, said the maternal post have only 3 rooms, 1 labor room and 2 beds to accommodate patients, especially pregnant women, after delivery amidst the number of people that visit the health center. She spoke about the water situation and electricity in the center and called on the district health medical team to assist and help the center. The section youth leader Easeba said the UMC primary school need additional structures to accommodate more children, and children are struggling for classrooms while accessing the free quality education program. Yekoi town is the headquarter town of Dumbuya section in Fiama chiefdom. Agriculture and mining are the main activities of that chiefdom.
The Union of African Muslim Scholars, which was formed in 2011 with its headquarters in the Malian capital, Bamako, has established its Sierra Leone chapter. The union, as part of its activities, has ended a 2-day consultative and training program for Sierra Leonean Islamic scholars. The forum was held at the headquarters of the Islamic Center for Education and Research, Circular Road. Asmiba was there. We apologize. We'll bring you that news item in a subsequent edition of Newshour. The International Labour Organization, ILO, has ended a 3-day stakeholders training in Freetown on the Multinational Enterprises Declaration. The forum, which attracted international entrepreneurs, aimed at preparing governments to have consultations with other governments whenever the need arises. Zoriba Samora reports.
In developing countries like Sierra Leone, the middle class now makes up more than 34% of total employment, a number that has almost tripled between 1991 and 2015, global statistics show. The International Labour Organization's consultative workshop with stakeholders in Freetown is to strengthen the declaration by adopting appropriate laws, policies, measures and actions. The project manager for small and medium-sized enterprises development at the International Labour Organization Sierra Leone, Paul Mayanja, said some of the mandates of the ILO are promoting social justice and decent work.
As part of ILO's work, we promote a dialogue among the stakeholders, key stakeholders that we've had. In these workshops, we've had over 3 days. We've had dialogue with the government, we've had dialogue with the employers, we've had dialogue with the employees, but also importantly we've added enterprises because we are discussing the MNE declaration. The MNE declaration is a set of principles on which guide how multinational enterprises, which are critically important to the economy, can operate in an environment where they promote local economic growth.
He said the International Labour Organization will continue to work with Sierra Leone towards improving the middle-sized enterprises. The director of local content agency, Fodeba Dabo, says the move by President Bio to create the agency is a right move to improve the country's human capital. Soriba Samura, SLBC, Freetown.
Bomaru is a very peaceful and quiet town. The first village the NPFL rebels from Liberia invaded on 23rd March 1991. Despite the killings, burning and looting of properties by the marauding rebels, the people of Bomaru have recovered from the ashes of war to a peaceful and forgiving society. Alpha Amaduba went to Bomaru in the Upper Bambara Chiefdom, Kainang district, to find out how the village has been recovering from the brutal war for a reconciled society.
Rebel invasion in the village 28 years ago. Bomaru village lacks basic social amenities, including safe drinking water, electricity and good roads.
We are calling on government to provide for us clean drinking water because this town lacks it. And also we want support for our women to be self-reliant. Government should help us with senior secondary school for our children to learn.
Bumaru has gradually recovered from the ashes of the brutal rebel invasion to a reconciled and quiet community. But what happened in this village on that fateful day of March 23rd, 1991 could never be forgotten by those who witnessed the ugly incident.
I was seated in this veranda at my house when I heard the first gunshot and loud bang from this hill. Few minutes later, I saw the rebels all over the village. They beat me a lot, killed many people and raped many women. They even adopted my late wife. They spoke Vai and other Liberian languages. I will never forget that day, March 23rd, 1991.
Well, I'm standing right here at the border baking post between Liberia and Sierra Leone through Bumaru. This particular road leads to Bahun district in Liberia, and down here is Bumaru in Kailaon district, Upper Bambara Chiefdom. So this is where on that day, March 23, 1991, this is the route where the rebels came from to invade Sierra Leone. Some of them went through the bush and some of them used this route to enter Bumaru just down there and started shooting and killing innocent Sierra Leoneans.
This monument was constructed after the war as a remembrance of the atrocities perpetrated by the MPFL rebels in Bumaru.
This structure was built after the 11-year brutal war. As you can see, inscription here were those injured or wounded when the rebels invaded Sierra Leone, Bumaru precisely, on the 23rd of March 1991. The names here, the names of those that were wounded or injured on that day, inscribed in the wall on this monument. On this other hand, it is those that were killed on that day when the rebels invaded Sierra Leone, Bumaru. Names of deceased and victims, you can see Major EFS Fode was killed on that day. Lieutenant Fode, he was killed in his house. He was in his room when he was shot, and he died after the gunshot. And the names of those that were killed also.
People here have reconciled with the past as new structures are imagined 28 years after the MPFL rebels invaded Bumaru.
If you've just joined us, this is Newshour coming to you from the SLBC. My name is Hawa Bai. The Deputy Minister of Works and Housing, Melrose Kagbo, has commissioned the new Mabang ferry after the previous one collapsed 3 months ago. It could be recalled that in 2012, the bridge linking Koya and Ribi chiefdoms in the Butloko and Moyamba districts respectively collapsed, which cut off the chiefdoms and communities. Auna Patki Kamara was there and our reports.
Since the collapse of the bridge in 2012, the two chiefdoms, Koya and Ribi chiefdoms, have been facing challenges to transport their goods, access to markets, and school-going children have dropped out of schools. Later, canoes were introduced to help the movement of goods and passengers. The situation prompted the Member of Parliament in that constituency to build a ferry to ease the constraint of his constituents, but that ferry sank last year. According to the Deputy Minister of Works and Housing, Melrose Kagbo, the government erected the ferry as a short-term solution as the government is trying to construct the bridge in the shortest possible time. She assured the people that government will soon commission the construction of the bridge, and the bridge is being funded by the European Union. The Member of Parliament of Constituency 093, Amadou Kanu, commended governments for the timely intervention, and the ferry is one of the best they have ever had, and pledged its leadership to ensure the ferry won't be overloaded. Representatives from Ribi and Koya chiefdoms, Thomas Spencer and Cherno Kanu, commended governments for their quick response and called on them to construct the road leading from Songo Junction to Moyamba, as the district is a productive one. Engineer Paul Bokari from SLRA said the ferry can carry not above 10-ton weights and call on the people to use it wisely. Also, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority has paid about 1.4 billion loans compensation fee to affected persons in the Wellington-Masheka Road project to ensure development is allowed. They call on the people to support the contractors and remove all their belongings as development comes first. Auna Patukama, Newshour.
All Political Parties Association APA has updated journalists on its stance and readiness to respond to the current court injunction that stopped them from conducting their delegate conference and election. The press briefing, which was held at the Political Parties Registration Commission, brought together representatives from 12 political parties, including 4 political parties in Parliament. Joseph Toye witnessed the event and our reports.
This gathering, which brought together representatives from 12 political parties, according to them, was a symbol of unity, strength and readiness to overcome what they described as challenges and setbacks. Chairperson All Political Parties Association, Augusta James Tamer, described the situation that happened a few days ago during their delegate conference as unfortunate, and that they called this forum to get things right due to the misinformation they got from a media outlet. She added, they are a law-abiding body and will follow the principles and dictates of the rule of law and democracy.
We have 12 political parties that consented to come together and put our issues together and put away our ideologies for the stake one that will develop our country, Sierra Leone. We as APA have already got our constitution discussed, reviewed, and was actually awaiting adoption for that day. A constitution that will help us to work together as a team, and that will help us also put things in order for the betterment of our country.
The chairman and leader, Sierra Leone People's Party, Dr. Prince Adin, also described the situation a few days ago as very unusual. He noted APA for them is a platform for unity and solidarity, noting that violence and discord are not good for our democracy. Dr. Adin registered their readiness to challenge the matter in court. A representative from the All People's Congress Party, Kamoko Kaba, said they were shocked by the injunction and that the APC believes in the due process of democracy. He stated that they strongly support the chairperson and APA as a whole. Other representatives from various political parties registered their unrelenting support to APA and that they are fully prepared to respond to the matter in court. They also registered that they did note they had unanimously agreed, including the plaintiff, on the 5th of February 2019 to conduct a rerun election. A representative from the Political Parties Registration Commission, Lucian Momo, noted since 2015 the PMDC and ADP had withdrawn their membership from APA, which they were aware of. SLBC News, Joseph Toye, Freetown.
The Sierra Leone Opportunities and Industrialization Center SLOG in Lunge has held its second annual graduation and certification ceremony. The institution saw over 200 students graduate in masonry, carpentry, tailoring, home management, and more. Soriba Samora reports.
The Sierra Leone Opportunities and Industrialization Center, SLOIC, came to Sierra Leone in 1977 with the sole aim of boosting the middle-level labor manpower. The ceremony, which was presided over by the coordinator of the Free Quality Education Program for Potloko District, Edward Leby Williams, brought together relatives, friends, and well-wishers from across the country to see their loved ones graduate. The National Executive Director, SLOIC, Ali Ben Say, said that it all started as a movement in the United States of America aimed at educating the remaining African slaves who could not repatriate to Africa.
The Sierra Leone OIC is graduating today 344 skills people We have a lot of graduates, but what has been lacking over the years is that we have graduates without skills. And SLOIC as an organization is here to give skills to young people. We have contributed to the government of Sierra Leone by empowering youth and also giving them employment opportunities. We started this since 1976 to date.
The ideology, he went on, of the Sierra Leone Opportunities and Industrialization Center cascaded to Sierra Leone 40-odd years ago to assist the less considered in society in earning them non-official education through technical training. The resident minister, Northwest Region, and keynote speaker, Haja Aissata Abdullahi Kamara, inspired the graduates to be steadfast in the quest for making a living in what she described as the competitive world.
That is how come the inception of the 6334 day, so that the vocational aspect of this country will be improved when we have more people trained in skills. That one would have helped the country, but the structures we are not prepared. The structures we are not there. After Beken, somebody do not have the requirement to go into secondary school. What is the fate of that person? That's the reason why we are having the dropouts.
Soriba Samura, SLBC, Freetown.
The Ministry of Information and Communication, with the Public Finance Management Improvement and Consolidation, together with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, has launched the Open Data Resource and Training Center at the Ministry of Information and Communication to help access information through technology in their conference hall at the UAE building. Sheila Refo had in this report.
Project Implementation Officer, Public Finance Management Improvement and Consolidation, Amos Lansana, said that the Data Resource and Training Center came about as a result of a formal request by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development to the World Bank in August 2016 for an additional component of $3 million United States dollars, and also said that there are 4 key uses for the center. In his statement, the Director of Communication, Ministry of Information and Communication, Bakar Tawali, said that the Data Resource Training Center is a test environment, as it will be a center for research and information through the help of the information communication technology, and give the roles and responsibility of the center.
Therefore, in terms of the MIC, our role basically is to provide technical support to the RAIC, because they have the mandate in terms of the open data, and our role is to help them to have a vehicle through which they can be able to disseminate information and through which they can be able to regulate information. And the open data portal is exactly doing that.
Giving the keynote address, the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Soare, said that their government is committed to open data and open information share because they believe that information is a lifetime process. The center is a critical achievement of higher integrated data for research, and it has an opportunity to build up major funds and highlight how to use and benefit from the data center.
We want to use data, we want to use science, technology and innovation to latch on, to leapfrog the country's development. Without informed data, you cannot make informed policy decisions. So it is in this regard that we continue to give our unflinching support to the work that you do.
The program ended with a demonstration of the data software application, which was based on a one-campus network across the country, of which the Fraway College is the umbrella body for all universities and colleges in the country, and hope the center will be utilized and put in good use. SLBC, Sheila Reful.
The president of the traditional healers Sierra Leone, Dr. Miniru Sandi, has called on his membership to be God-fearing and sincere in their activities, as their mandate is to heal and protect mankind and not to damage and destroy life. He made this call while addressing hundreds of traditional healers in Kenema District at number 4 Circular Road, Court Barre. Safa Moriba sent in this report.
Dr. Muniru Sandi appealed to them to always come together and remain united, thereby contributing to national development. He disclosed that there are still some members in the society who are in the habit of harming their fellow human beings and therefore call on them to stop such habits immediately. He said, as herbalists, they are to work in collaboration with the hospitals to save lives. He formally presented Dr. Musa Ila Kurma as the high priest for all traditional healers across the nation and called on all for total support for his leadership, adding that very soon everyone will realize the important role they are playing as herbalists in nation building. Addressing his audience, the high priest thanked all and sundry for their support for the leadership of Dr. Sandi and called on members to come on board and support Dr. Sandi. He described all members as ambassadors and should be mindful of their activities. He appealed to all to be watchful at all times and to weed out those who are bent on tarnishing the good image of herbalists in the country.
Now for some African news. Kenyans have taken to social media to share their views on a proposal by the country's Court of Appeal to lower the age of consent from 18 to 16. 3 judges, while reversing a 15-year sentence of a man who impregnated a 17-year-old girl, ruled that it was high time the country considered a revision of the Sexual Offences Act, arguing that it is unrealistic to assume that teenagers and maturing adults do not engage in sex. The Judges' Council said that they should discuss challenges of maturing children, morality, autonomy, protection of children, and the need for proportionality in punishing sex offenders. More than 1 in 3 Africans have considered emigrating, researchers for the Afrobarometer survey have said. The continent-wide survey also found that young and educated people were more likely than others to want to leave their home country. For those who do leave, it is not to Europe or North America that most go to, but another African country. And the UN has sent a team of investigators to central Mali, where it says more than 150 people were killed over the weekend. A UN spokeswoman said the massacre in the village of Ogusagu marked a significant surge in violence across communal lines by so-called self-defense groups. The UN says 600 people, including many women and children, have been killed in the Mopti region over the last year. President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita has called on the military to be constantly mobilized and said Mali was in a state of war. Well, that's it for the African news, and now to entertainment news. Hip-hop, R&B, Afrobeats, reggae music as genre of music that are making great impact in the country. But though reggae music has few fans in the country, yet most of the reggae artists are doing their best in promoting the music. Mega D Living Fire is one reggae musician creating that change. When he came to our broadcasting house, our entertainment producer Mohammed King Milan Bangula engaged him in this interview.
Why them bad man people want this way?
In Sierra Leone, music is not only limited to hip-hop, R&B, Afrobeat and more, but also to reggae music. Although reggae music has few fans in the country, yet most of the reggae artists are doing their best in promoting that genre of music. One particular reggae musician is Mohammed Kalon, popularly known as Mega the Living Fire, who got his name because of his love for the Rastafarian movement. Mega was born in Freetown and spent a couple of years in Germany, where he did his primary schooling, and at the Sierra Leone Grammar School in Freetown. He later went to Jala University and acquired a degree in public health. and got his master's at Walden University, United States of America. He said his parents were not supportive of him becoming a musician because they thought music was for dropouts.
They were never happy, and I don't think they're still happy, okay, because they saw music as something that's not worthwhile, and maybe they thought at that time music will not allow me to pursue my course, but I proved them wrong because I went to university, got my degree, and the good thing is I first of all finished my master's before even...
Mega expressed his love for the Rastafarian movement since he was a boy because of its doctrine and ideologies. He came into active music business. He received his master's degree in 2013. He said as a believer in the Rastafarianism movement, listening to reggae music is a must, and his greatest mentor is the popular Jamaican poet Muta Baruka, and his musicians are Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and his favorite is Joe Hill. Mega said though he now sings reggae, yet he can sing different style of music, Afrobeat, techno, and even stressed that he started singing dancehall songs. In 2016, he released his first album titled Dancehall Coronation.
Better than King Kong, come from freedom, represent them to a sound like Lindon. I sing this sweet song, dancehall coronation.
Mega the Living Fire is at present working on the second album that will be launched soon. But in that upcoming album, he has decided to release 3 music videos: Trust No One, Revolution, and Go Away. According to him, all the songs preaches about being positive in life, trust, and pure love.
Every day we are push and fight. Baby, that's not right.
Go Away is basically very personal to me. It's a love song. Okay. It's about the breakup. You had a breakup with a girl and you tell her, I'm gonna touch you, I'm not gonna beat you because it's against my Rastafarian belief. Revolution. Okay, revolution talks about general revolution. Okay, revolution will mean it's a change, right? It talks about revolution in the music industry, talk about bringing reggae music to the limelight, forgetting about the music that talks about negativity. Bringing reggae music talks about revolution for the children, revolution in the government, revolution everywhere.
Me want a revolution, hey, in a me country. Oh, yeah. We need a revolution.
Mega the Living Fire owns a music label and a recording studio called Fire Beat and Firehouse respectively. He said he is giving opportunities to the underground artists in exhibiting their talent. He said at present he has 15 artists in his label, just need to prove how talented they are. Mega the Living Talent said reggae music has something to do with both the youth and the old, and frowned on the perception that reggae music is for dropouts. A call on the youth to be more active and focused in whatever they do, and urge the government to pay more attention to the music industry as there are more rooms for positive improvement.
We want a revolution, hey, in our country. Oh, yeah. We need a...
From sports, we join Esther Mary Samora.
Welcome to Sports Updates. In this edition, the Ceylon Bar Association and the Ceylon Medical and Dental Association have ended a friendly football encounter at the Ceylon Football Association Academy in Freetown. The match, which ended in a 1-1 draw, was witnessed by both lawyers and doctors in the country. Here is a report. Lawyers and doctors perform different duties. Lawyers meet with clients while doctors meet with patients. Both professionals spend time reviewing information related to their client's case or their patient's condition. As a way of fostering their relationship, the two specialized sets of people had a mouth-watering encounter. It was full of counter upon counter attacks. The lawyers, who are legal experts qualified to represent options to their clients for addressing their legal issues, opened the scoreline through barristers Mohammed Said's goal. Before Dr. Songo Koboyoma came from the back and equalized through his brilliant header. According to barrister Mohamed Said Bangua, captain of the Bar Association football team, they came with high expectation of winning the match, but noted his side must reinforce for future matches.
It's quite unfortunate on our part because we started on the ascendancy and then the first half was pretty much in our favor and we thought it's going to be a game full of goals in favor of the Bar Association. But unfortunately, it turned out to be a tie, so we're pretty much depressed about the end result of the game. We'll have to go back to the drawing board and do a restructure of our entire team and then see how best we can land success in the next encounter.
Doctors examine their patients' physical conditions, identify what medical issues are affecting them, and determine how to treat these medical problems. But according to Dr. Songo Kodoyoma, their performance in the match shows that they are not only expertise in the medical field, but also play good football.
It's a very strong game. It shows that we are not only concerned about patients, we also keep physically fit and do a whole 90-minute play. And unlike the lawyers who were like gasping for breath, we are on top of the situation. I played 90 minutes and most of my team played 90 minutes.
The atmosphere was very much cordial at the end of the match. Esther Maisamwa, SLBC. And into this Premier League result, FC Cologne secured a 2-2 draw with the Republic of Ireland Armed Forces Football Club in the ongoing Ireland Premier League. They scored a late equalizing goal in the 87th minute of play. Details of that story will be in our subsequent news. Over to you, Hawabai.
From sports to the main points, a medical team from Jiangxia Hospital in China is in Syrian to assess the China-Syrian Friendship Hospital in Jui. Parliament has approved 13 presidential nominees amidst walkout by the main opposition APC party. Over 20 houses have been unroofed and damaged by heavy winds in Petifu, Mangbogbo village in the Yoni Chiefdom, Tongolele district. And Minister of Health, Professor Alpha Wei, has opened a biosafety level 3 laboratory and a ward at the Laka Government Hospital to treat multi-drug resistant TB. Well, that's it for this edition of Newshour. Do join us for another edition tomorrow of Newshour. Till then, keep watching the SLBC. My name is Hawa. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.